whoopsie. For once, the other person's camera was totally fine, but mine was still on the desk, so... There we go. What's up, everybody? What's up, Maynard?
Not much, man. Pleased to be able to get that last-minute invite to cast this one because it's a pretty sweet-looking group. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's pretty warm in my room. Yeah, you for a second. But I'm, otherwise I'm okay. We had a bit of a hiccup for this tournament, of course. Some mild stress, I guess, where Sue kind of almost last minutes said, like, oh yeah, I can't play, even after knowing for days. So it turns out he's playing, I guess, in this other tournament that's happening right now, called, like, the Coliseum, something or another.
Oh, yeah, that's, like, started at exactly the same time as this tournament. I saw that in TL.
Yeah, exactly. So, really a little mad at him, but oh well. Life goes on, and we found a replacement, Jon Snow, who is currently living in the BaseTradeTV house, so he is in Korea. And we'll have no problems when it comes to, lag or anything like that, but obviously we'll have problems because everyone else in this group is pretty good. We have ByuN, Hurricane, and Solar as the other members, and, yeah, they all pretty good. They all got some name. Yes.
Yeah, I think the best thing that Jon Snow had going for him lately is that he qualified for the for WCS Jönköping, did pretty well in the NA qualifiers for that. But yeah, not too many tournaments under his belt. Whereas Classic, ByuN, and even Solar have all won major tournaments. So
yeah,
there's sort of that thing going for him. So Jon Snow's the, I mean, this kind of reminds me of the caster tournament group last night, where there was 3 really quite good players and 1 really bad one. Not saying that Jon Snow's bad, but it's just there's a giant gap between the other 3 and the 4th guy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get you. Of course, I'll be playing in the Group C tonight. I guess in like.
I'm sending you love, and I hope it goes well.
6 hours actually.
Mine went bad.
Oh yeah, did it? You got 2-0.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, played 4 games, cheesed 4 games, lost 4 games. That was the story of my tournament.
You cheesed 4 games?
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever cheese. I always. I mean, you've seen my stream from time to time. I always try and play macro, later game. I aim for the later game, but I figured that against Rotterdam or Imre, it would be a massive mistake. So I thought my best shot is to just be weird and be unpredictable. So I did really crazy all-in timing attacks that my friend taught me. And I practiced them maybe 10 times against custom AI or whatever, and then I whipped them out, and it went as badly as expected. But
oh well. That happens.
It was fun.
I actually saw a stream where you were doing nothing but cheese. So.
Oh yeah. That was like a saying goodbye to that race though, because that was like when I'm done playing that race for that first couple weeks, then
gotcha.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll cheese.
Well, didn't you face Wardy? I thought you faced Wardy.
I did. Wardy was an enigma to me because I actually thought that he wasn't as good as he is. Wardy's really good. He's I think he's 5.5k MMR, and he was going toe to toe with Imre, who's nearly 6k. His TvT is his best matchup, and he was doing a very good job. I was watching his games versus Imre. Wardy's legit, dude.
That is interesting.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's why I decided the last minute, when I actually was going to play regular TvT against Wardy, and then cheese the other 2. But then I heard that Wardy was really good, and I'm like, we did an interview, and Wardy told us what his MMR was, and I'm like, all right, guess I'm cheesing him too.
Yeah, MMR's just a number, man. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's a number that happened to be a fair bit bigger than my number. It's an indicator, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know. I guess you and Wardy are both knocked out, so.
Yeah, feels bad.
Yeah.
It's tough to get past Rotterdam and Imre.
Yeah, I mean the groups so far have kind of been I think a bit obvious about who's gonna get out. So
yours, there's Pig is obviously one, but the second place is actually a big question mark for me. I think that I would say I don't think Emil will come through because I think I've beaten Emil before, in games.
Yeah.
So if I can beat Emil, then you can beat Emil. And I think I've seen Funka play it, and Funka's pretty good. But I've also seen you play, and you're pretty good. So I think that'll be either you or Funka.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I could take on Emil. But Funka, in a TvT, was gonna be like difficult, and I haven't really practiced as much as I was hoping for. So,
Mm.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I was actually getting quite good again before I left for Korea. Now
You were getting good?
I was. It was like
The dream.
actually improving and like winning. I got to like I think like about 5,500 MMR, and I was winning most of my games, and I was feeling good.
Nice.
And then I went to Korea, and now I'm not as good. Yeah. And the Korean ladder is just it's brutal, man. Some
Yeah, I
days
mean, there's a
just
lot of
nothing but
good
cheese.
Terrans. There's a lot of good Terrans on the Korean ladder, but they don't like playing past the 5-minute mark. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll see. I'll be super tired. I'll be cranky and out of shape, but I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I played my group at 1:30 in the morning, so you'll have a
exactly.
similar time to me.
Exactly.
Didn't go to bed till 5 actually in the morning because I have to wait until the losers match, which was ages. But anyway.
Yeah, I recognize that. The players finally have the maps ready to go, so it's gonna be ByuN versus Hurricane first.
Cool, man. Hurricane's been doing all right recently, but not so great against Terrans. Specifically, I saw that some of his results from the Shanghai qualifiers for IM Shanghai coming up.
Uh-huh.
Got smacked back by old mate Maru and also Keen, and he didn't even win a map against those guys. And also Innovation 3-0'd him recently in VSL Season 2. So his PvT isn't looking super sharp. I mean, yeah, they're pretty good Terrans, but they're not like, especially Keen, is not the best TvP in the world. But that said, ByuN's been having a little bit of a tough time as well. He went down to Super recently in the same tournament in VSL Season 2, but Super's not the greatest Protoss in the world. So,
Yeah.
a little bit hard to say. I would say that ByuN's definitely a favorite here against Hurricane. But ByuN's kind of hot and cold sometimes. You know what I mean? He can be good. He can be really, really on fire one day and make you ever question your disbelief of his ability to win StarCraft games, and then sometimes he'll just get completely annihilated. It's just what it's been like lately for ByuN.
Oh God, pains me. I have the WCS overlay on. Damn it.
Oh, it hurts.
I had to use it for IAM. Okay,
Oof.
well, I'll change that next game. I guess I don't want to. Oh, man, I gotta move the overlay.
Yucky.
People are gonna be all mad and stuff.
Well, while you're moving the overlay, shout out to Iverson for 16 months in a row for resubbing, and also to Falk TX for 5 months in a row. Thank you for resubbing to Base Trade.
Thank you for getting that. All right, I'm done now. Let's get into the introductions. It's a best of 3. In the bottom right, as the Blue Terran, he is ByuN.
That's right, still the reigning world champ, but as things stand, maybe a different champion in 2017, I'm thinking. And in the top left here, this is the Protoss player, this is Hurricane. Yeah, so for you guys watching from home, this is BTSL. If you're not aware of it, it is a GSL-style group. And if you're not aware of GSL, first of all, what's the matter with you? Second of all, it's 2 people play in a best of 3, then the winners face each other, and then the losers face each other, and then there's a decider match to see who goes through with the winner of the winners match into the next stage of the tournament. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. It is pretty simple. Gives a second chance and I guess even third chance to get out of the group. So
Yeah.
it can be sometimes nice and sweet with these best of 3s, which is what these are. But we'll see what happens. It was close to being a 3-man group, which significantly lessens the broadcast because you miss out on 2 series, automatically. But we found
Hurricane just arrived. We got him.
Well, that too, I guess. Hurricane also was a little bit late. It's going to be a little bit of a shock. I want to go find another replacement. But anyways, we're good now. Guys, let me know what the audio sounds like. I could probably bump up the game sounds, I'm imagining, because they're not quite deafening to my ear, which is usually when it's A-OK for stream. It's usually my test. But, ByuN, what are you doing?
Oh, my man, ByuN. Now, this is the kind of stuff I whipped out against Rotterdam. Now, Rotterdam's really good at StarCraft. Hurricane's better than I am, and ByuN's better than I am. So this is gonna be a little bit of a proxy here. There's probably is there a SCV coming over as well through the middle of the map? There's just a Reaper at the moment. Oh, Hurricane scouts it as well with a probe. No, he just misses it. Oh
really?
Man, Hurricane!
Wow.
That was so close, like a pixel off.
That was actually a pixel off, man. Like that is kind of brutal.
Oh my god.
Okay, well that's
amazing.
That's gonna be a bad timing, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Man, and this is looking like yeah, I was going to say, I was looking for that SCV because normally the Starport comes with this, so this is going to be some proxy mine drop shenaniganry. it's going to hit hard and fast, and Hurricane's not going to be ready for it by the looks of things. He doesn't have a Robo on the way just yet either. He's going for Stargate.
Yeah. This means that he'll probably pop on an Oracle first, and that'll go straight across the map and try and dodge any Widow Mines he thinks is going to be at home when it's actually dropping in his main base. Now, ideally for ByuN, that causes the Oracle to come home. I mean, it should, right? But basically before the Oracle does any damage to him, because, well, by proxying, you don't actually have a lot of defense against an Oracle. You have maybe enough Marines, yeah, for one base, but not the other, so...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You have to evacuate one or the other. And ByuN is actually sending his Marines forward here because he wants to bat away this Adept, which he's going to be able to do. But you're absolutely right. You need Marines in a mineral line. You need about, I think it's, what, 6 Marines to deal with an Oracle safely?
Yes.
So you need to have that many Marines in your mineral line, but you have to pick and choose which one you want to go to. Do you sack, do you just, not sack, but pull all the workers out of the natural or out of the main?
Well, some good news for Hurricane, a little bit advance notice. The probe trying to go to third base scouts if the Oracle stays at home, and he doesn't have to really worry about this Widow Mine drop. Well, I mean, one probe maybe dies, 2 probes maybe, but it shouldn't be much more than that.
Not incredible pylon coverage in the back middle line here for Hurricane. Oh, these are so stacked up! Oh, I'm amazed only 4 probes went down there. Those probes were really stacked on top of each other, and the medevac all goes down to the Phoenix. All things considered, just losing 4 probes, not too bad for Hurricane.
Yeah, that I thought was going to go much better, and then for a second I thought it was going to go much, much worse. So that was, well, that was interesting. So ByuN managed to get something from that drop, including a Phoenix, although he was trying to target the Oracle, I think, for a second there, but immediately pushing forward here, building Cyclones from that factory, built a Liberator, lifted the Starport away. This third base I don't think is going to happen. It's usually a safe assumption to be able to get a third base against a Widow Mine drop, but because, ByuN actually pushed him, can't really do much about it.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one. The Phoenixes are going to help out a whole lot against this Liberator, and also the Phoenixes can lift up Cyclones, which I learned against my games in Rotterdam, affected my Cyclone all-in. The Phoenixes are actually pretty effective against dealing with this unit comp, but you do need the gateway units on the ground as well to deal with everything else. So it's just a game of numbers at this point. Hurricane desperately warping in what he can. He's got an Immortal on the way as well, making more and more Phoenixes. He wants to lift up these Cyclones to get them out of the battle, because they are the scary high DPS unit here.
Yeah.
And also, of course, the Liberator.
I feel like ByuN might be overstaying his welcome a little bit. He doesn't have a Widow Mine coming forward here. I also don't like, he's constantly building supply depots around the map. It's very odd to look. I keep thinking it's like another proxy, but yeah, probably just waiting on that Immortal and then gonna go in. He did see the Widow Mine burrow.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's got quite a lot of stuff. Phoenix is coming in here, watching out for the Marines, and there they go, lifting up those Cyclones. And down goes this push from ByuN, and he gets deflected completely. Yeah, and that's going to be it for ByuN's proxy pressure here, and he's going to be able to take that third Nexus. And ByuN's going to pull back and come up with a plan B.
Yep. I mean, he did delay the Nexus, obviously, quite a bit. Usually, that started like a minute, 2 minutes ago even. And he might even lose his factory to the Phoenixes. He does have a bunker back at home, realizing the potential of a counter, although with an Immortal that wouldn't last very long. Hurricane's just missing a Warp Prism, and he could probably put on some serious pressure. He's trying to get one now.
Yeah, I think he agrees with you. Getting a Prism here is going to be tough for ByuN to deal with. ByuN doesn't have a third CC on the way or anything here. He's just been pumping units out on 2 bases, so the game clock's going to go against him. The longer this game goes, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to get a third CC now, dropping it on location to the north. But Hurricane's possibly going to see that pretty shortly with these Phoenixes. Could even deny the building here by lifting up that SCV.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yep. Tons of movement on the map. Hurricane has units everywhere. He does take out that factory, so it doesn't have to deal with Widow Mines anymore. I mean, Protosses are already going into charge, but if this was a reaction to killing the factory, I think that'd be great too. Getting charged here. Just Mass Marine can deal with it, but Widow Mine's obviously the real powerhouse unit against charge lots, and well, ByuN just won't have any. I'll have Ghost maybe.
Yeah, and it's actually, I'm glad charge is back, but it is basically the new Adept Glaives for Protoss. It is so strong, and every Protoss is going to get it in pretty much every matchup, except for maybe PvP. Charge is so good, Zealous is so strong, and they will be closing the gap between the Protoss army and the Terran army very, very easily. So, We have a Ghost Nest on the way, though, for ByuN. Ghost's a pretty good addition to this army, I gotta say. But will it make a difference in time for ByuN, who is, as it stands, a little against the ropes, although he does have a bit more army supply and it does have +1 attack.
What do you call it? A ghost nest. Oh my god, ghost nest.
A Ghost Nest, yeah.
That's I'm gonna say.
That's right.
Well, third CC was delayed.
Yeah, I mean, the third CC being delayed further hurts ByuN's income, obviously. You see the income is heavily in Hurricane's favor for now. But when the third gets down and mules get dropped, change a little bit.
Yeah, specking up quite a little bit. High Templar is now being, there you go, more from the Archons, as he doesn't quite have Storm and isn't researching it yet either.
Yeah, Storms are going to be pretty amazing for Hurricane. He actually needs splash damage. If ByuN gets out of control with his bio production, it's harder and harder for the Protoss army. I mean, charge lots, like I said, are pretty fantastic, but Storm is even better. Speaking of splash damage, we got a Robotics Bay being dropped here. It could be for Colossus, could be for Disruptors. Either way, it's splash damage, and it's on the way here for Hurricane.
Yeah, just simply not going to go into Storm. I mean, maybe if it's a really long game of going to Storm, but looking towards the Robotics Bay instead is an interesting move.
Yeah.
If you could get there, if you could actually, like, get double pumped Disruptors or Colossus out on the field, then the Ghost might feel a little, well, not as useful as they were expecting, basically. I mean, they're supposed to EMP the Charge Lots plus Archons plus maybe even the Phoenixes, but instead, doing it against Colossus is not as effective. You look for once in Vikings and good Concave, but actually catches the Ghost almost with those Charge Lots. That would have been nice.
Well, yeah, Ghost nearly getting killed there with the Charge Lots. The Phoenix is batting away and nearly killing a couple of Medivacs as well, but the operative word is nearly. So ByuN managed to keep these important things alive. Oh, loses a little bit more there. Yeah. But the Ghost is still alive, and the third is still saturated here for ByuN, so not too bad. He is down a few workers, but very, very close in army supply, worker count, and also income. So it's a pretty even game at the stand.
That was a nice move by Hurricane to pick up the freshly dropped mules. I always hate when that happens. But Warp Prism is still standing by, just occasionally warping in those Zealots, I guess, that we see, not actually using itself to dive in anywhere. Scans see a fourth base still making. Great to get a cancel, but at least it's still making, so I don't think the emphasis is on diving on top of it. It was Disruptors as the splash choice, and there's not much that Ghost can help do against that. In fact, they're probably even less helpful against them because they can't run away as fast.
No, but they will be useful against these Archons and these pumped-up Sentries, although the EMPs there weren't fantastic. Oh, splits from ByuN to keep the Ghosts alive against the Disruptor. Novas does lose one Marauder, but the Nova's not connecting as quick as they can. And Hurricane still with a lot of these units with full shields and full hit points. He's going to lose that Archon, though.
That might have been too good. Those Disruptors, they need to actually get a better shots, but they're still waiting on that cooldown. There it goes now.
Yeah.
Nope.
Still not connecting, and I was going to say, ByuN very Marauder heavy here, needs Marines, and they are actually reinforcing across the map. ByuN's rallying everything here, and his control against the Disruptors have been really, really good. Hasn't taken any big hits. The Colossus is coming in, which is going to help out Hurricane, but it looks like the fourth Nexus is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. I feel like this is why we only occasionally see Disruptor use, or I feel like, Disruptor drops have their purpose. I think Hero really likes them a lot, but, Disruptors instead of Colossus, I feel like we're just watching why that isn't such a good idea. Pro Terrans is so good at dodging out their shots.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look at all these Ghosts from ByuN. They actually decimate that, make the Mothership Core just evaporate there instantly. The Ghosts can do a fair bit of damage. But another warp in here from this Prism heading towards the third base of ByuN. But, ByuN's killed the fourth of Hurricane, and he's sitting pretty. But if he loses too many workers here, it could be a different story.
Yeah. ByuN is rallying, so it's going to be difficult for him to do so, and Hurricane saw that. He saw a free third and rally, so he knows there will be a lot of reinforcements. They're just enough to make this not a slaughter, but still 12 SCDs go down. Reinforcements are stopped, and Hurricane is able to buy time enough to get 4 Colossus, which I think he desperately needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Colossus, it's less damage, but it's consistent damage, and he's actually starting to make Disruptors again. So he's feeling pretty confident that this is the answer here, and with that run by, he actually hurt ByuN's economy a ton, so ByuN needs to make something happen here. He doesn't have more upgrades on the way. We've got Hurricane with an upgrade advantage, and a lot of splash damage, and that's a bit of purification over. He's going down again. Who knows going down to that shot as well?
This is looking like an unbeatable army. I mean, of course, if ByuN was getting quadruple pumped Vikings, then I think he still has a chance, but he's missing opportunities, of course, to kill this base. Let me even see that? No, not quite, but I guess we'll see the mining eventually. He's going to reposition himself to maybe just do that, at least stop the expansion of the Protoss, but I'm not sure that he can. I really think that Hurricane's army is just better.
Yeah, Hurricane snowballing out of control here. Oh, 2 more ghosts going down as well to charge like before he even turns to engage. And you're absolutely right about the Viking count being a problem here for ByuN. He only has 1 starport with a reactor. And getting a Viking count to be able to deal with this many Colossus is pretty impossible at this stage of the game, considering he's losing 70 units in the middle of the map, not controlling them at all. ByuN is concentrating on this big drop in the main here as his ability to win the game, but Hurricane seems to have too much of his values. But I don't know.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to fix that later. 2 Colossus go down, but I mean, so does ByuN's entire army, and as you mentioned in the middle of the map, he wasn't even controlling, he just let them go through the army. So that was pretty bad. He did lift his main command center over to the 4th. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to use Discord again. The old switcheroo. Skype's an amazing program.
It used to keep esports alive back in the day, but now it's kind of now it's going to take the backbench to Discord time, I think.
Yeah, well, Discord has video. Well, ByuN's still making a game of this, even though his composition I thought was inferior. His positioning ends up really catching Hurricane off guard. He is going to get the Nexus. Oh, nope.
Get it.
What?
Please, come on, ByuN.
Is he not going to get it?
Do you notice that pro gamers always do this? Leave something on a frustratingly low hit point amount and then just leave.
Oh my god, he's trying. He's trying. It's not gonna work.
Oh man, he could have absolutely killed that. Oh well.
Well, that is disappointing. Of course, he was trying to dodge out disruptors, I think, mainly. That's why he retreated so, quickly, but... Oh, that is frustrating. A lot of low energy medevacs, low health medevacs. Trying to do a drop in the natural. A place that Hurricane would least expect, but his army was kind of close, so... Oh, this is gonna be...
Yeah, the army in the main is getting completely mopped up, and at the 4th base, the Disruptor Nova's not good enough. GG. Wow. There goes ByuN's army. All right, let's do the Discord thing. Sorry about the crackling up, guys. If I'm going Mr. Roboto.
You're just
it's
disappearing, man, like a ghost.
Oh, I'm disappearing? Oh shit! I don't want that.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my internet anymore. My internet had a great upgrade.
Nah.
It's semi-decent now, so.
Oh, well, that's good news. No, it's just my Skype, man. Like, I've checked everything. I've tried to make sure that it doesn't change audio depending on anything else, but it just didn't.
Nope.
Oh, well. Alright, I'm gonna call you. Start voice call. Just, I guess we'll just both mute Skype.
Yep, I gotcha.
Oops. There we go. Let me make sure this is correct. Hello?
Hello?
Ah, that works. Cool. We're using the Hong Kong region. Well, I guess that's close enough.
That's in between, isn't it? I don't know.
Trust Discord. Okay, so hopefully that'll be a lot better, and we'll have the correct overlay, and hopefully the game sounds are fixed as well, so everything's pretty now.
Including us.
Yeah.
I'm just going to join the game. By the way, during that game, we had some resubs. Fishy1337, Fishy Leet, 7 months in a row. Also, Zarude 40X, I'm sorry if I messed that up, 6 months in a row. Marcos 4912, there's a familiar name, with 26 months in a row. God damn. For Haley for 4 months in a row. I hope Haley's happy with you. And that's it. Those are the resubs during that game. A lot of love. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for chatting those out. I'm sure you had beautiful attempts on all those. But the next game is ready to go. It's on Odyssey. Another kind of similar large map. ByuN not able to pressure Hurricane enough despite the proxy, and Hurricane just playing some, I don't know, smart Protoss. I thought he played pretty clean, and his transition worked out well, and I think that's what really killed ByuN, was just not able to actually stop from getting the Colossus.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like anything creative or crazy. It was just solid and straight up PvT. And ByuN couldn't handle Hurricane's PvT that time. So let's see if he can handle it in game number 2. In the bottom right here is the man in question, currently down 1 in the series. This is ByuN from Team Expert.
Oh, so much better. In the bottom, or top left, as the blue Protoss, he is Hurricane.
Yep, 1 map away from getting into the winners match here, so he's looking pretty solid. Like, I gotta say that game 1 impressed me here. Every now and then, Hurricane kind of disappears and comes back, you know what I mean? It's not an incredibly nice thing to say, but it feels like that sometimes, because he doesn't always, make it deep in the bigger tournaments. But on the online cups, like BTSL and Elite League, a little bit of a different story. You generally see him haunting those tournaments. And doing pretty good lately, so it's nice to see. Love to Tor underscore for 23 months in a row of support. That's pretty crazy. I'm 1 month away from a 2 for myself, and I'm pretty excited about that.
I'll get that to you as soon as possible, man.
Nice.
Yeah, of course,
I'll put it in my wallet.
Who has 12 months under their belts is eligible for a Partoof. We haven't stopped doing them. They're not, like, all gone. In fact, we have way too many still, so... message BaseTradeTV on Twitch. Message, not whisper. You should be able to get it. Thank you to Vendefiel for the 4-month resub, as we're talking about it. And, yeah, a little bit more, like, Hurricane, so... Neeb was one of the, I think with Foreigner, everyone expected to get in the GSL, and he was, weirdly enough, one of them that didn't. Like a Laser, No Regrets, Scarlet, like all of them, 4 others did, and Neeb did not. And everyone's like, what the hell happened? And they looked and they were like, well, Hurricane, I guess Neeb isn't playing very well. And I thought that was like a really weird thing to say, because of course, first of all, it's always so harsh to say that the guy that just won 2 WCSs is like not playing well lately. Because like,
yeah, that's... I mean, they might be one of those people that were in that famed thread going, that seemed to be under the impression that winning 2 WCS tournaments in the Kesper Cup meant that Neeb hasn't really broken out yet.
Yeah.
It's so, and it's like, oh my god, what planet do you live on, and what game are you a fan of?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But plus, like, okay, we got a Hurricane proxy here, so just from revenge, but Hurricane's best matchup from what we've seen him grow with, because you're right, like, he kind of, like, disappeared and then came back, and the one matchup he was good at was PvP, and that seems to be consistent throughout, like, his, like, growing up stage, I suppose. Now, apparently, his PvT is pretty on point as we watch him up 1-0 versus ByuN, but I really wasn't too shocked to see Neeb go down to that guy.
Yeah, and PvP's always been a little bit sort of, not like ZVZ temperamental, but one of those matchups where, 1 or 2 mistakes, or really at that high level, 1 mistake can end the game for you.
Yeah.
So it's it's a bit of a shame. I wonder how many people actually expected No Regret to kind of get into Code S though.
Well, the thing about the Code S qualifiers is that, like, you can get, like, a nice bracket, but I know No Regret actually got kind of a difficult one, so...
He had Impact at some point, and beating
really
Impact at ZVZ is really sick. Like, Impact's a VSL Season 1 champion. He's
exactly.
A really, really good Zerg these days.
You can't really take too much away, just, like, No Regret played well, man.
No, he deserves it, yeah. He's in there because he deserves it. Which is the way the qualifiers should be. A couple of Hellions coming in from ByuN, getting 2 probes. Looks like they might be getting 1 more. No, they're going straight into the main. Getting a bit of a scout off before they die.
His Reaper got into the far back as well. Didn't get very much before it died, but I'm just saying, like, he got a pretty full scout of the bases, like, both of them, and didn't see a tech structure. So I feel like ByuN should be like, okay, well, what is going on here? Is it a proxy Stargate, or is it a hidden Twilight Council? And, of course, more often than not, is the Stargate.
Yeah. He's expecting it too. He's got a Viking in the main, and he actually has enough Marines almost in the natural as well to hold it in Oracle. And there goes that Viking from ByuN, just to the edge of the main. He's got the depot in place. He's ready for this Oracle. Oh,
there it is.
There we go.
Nicely done. He didn't actually see where it was, but ended up being quite perfect. A Viking, unfortunately, not very fast, but it can shoo away the Oracle, so she doesn't even get one? No, she got one at least. Oh, careful.
She got 1, and now there's a Cyclone out going to get 2nd SCV, and the Oracle is going to live to tell the tale for now, but, I mean, when you proxy a Stargate, you want more than 2 SCV kills. That's not enough here for this Oracle. But Hurricane's starting to pump out some Phoenixes from this Stargate, which is going to help out a little bit, because he is starting to push with a small Gateway army.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so he's going to try and put some hurt on here, and then, again, the Phoenixes going to help out a lot against this Cyclone.
The Cyclone's getting a little bold, thinking that of course, the natural follow-up is usually a 3rd base, not a push out of units. He manages to save the Oracle and still get the Cyclone. Or save the Phoenix, rather, and still get the Cyclone out of there. Nicely done with Hurricane's control. If ByuN didn't have a bunker, he'd be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, and the front door's down as well, which means these Adepts are going to shade into the main with the Oracle support as well. And they're sitting on the production as well, so when Marines start coming out, they're going to start picking them up a little bit here and there. Oh man, the Vikings landed and ends up being in a Graviton lift. Bye-bye, Viking.
This is getting a little bit worrisome. Again, really, if ByuN didn't have a bunker, I think he's like just dying right here, losing so many SCVs, but he's about to not have a bunker. He wasn't repairing, didn't expect the Stalkers to get on top of it. Fortunately, Stalker's not a lot of DPS, cannot take it down, loses an Oracle for it.
ByuN goes for the repair on that bunker and manages to just save it in time. The Oracle goes down, a few of the Gateway units getting softened up as well, but as it stands, ByuN is still alive, but Hurricane continues the pressure, lifts up the Widowmine, but the bunker is really helping him out a ton. Does pick up the Widowmine in the end. Now he closes the front door. Good boy, ByuN.
Yeah. He's just gonna have to wait for Stim and Combat Shield, which is a long ways off.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could try just pushing with the Medivacs. At least they're healing as the Stalkers are migrating, but that'd be a little bit bold. He really doesn't have any other information other than just seeing units out of his base, so he doesn't know if third base was thrown down. This could really be an all-in that if he moves out, he would just die to.
Yeah, well, as it stands, we do know that on the other side of the map with our God Cast Division, we can see that there is actually a third Nexus down already for Hurricane and half saturated already as well. So Hurricane's just transitioning into a pretty strong mid-game while sort of soft containing ByuN, or hard containing ByuN, not allowing ByuN to expand and get out of control himself. ByuN feels like he's got an opening here to go for a medevac drop. He's loaded one up with 2 Widowmines and see what he can get done on the north side of the map. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes and the Oracle are sort of sharking around, being very annoying here, making it tough for ByuN to move out at all.
Yeah. Finally, Stim and Combat Shield's finishing up. He does take a third base as well. Hurricane does not see that. And really, Hurricane, as of course spiked every now and then in the income, should be really just, I guess, getting the benefits of that soon when this production kicks in. At 7 gateways, he can start warping in quite the Zealot army, but now it's his turn to buy time until he has charge and +1. As ByuN is coming down the map, he knows it, he has Revelation, he knows there's Widowmines as well.
A lot of Marines here in ByuN's army, and with these upgrades, they're actually going to be very, very effective against the small charge lot numbers. In fact, they're not even charge lots yet, they're just regular Zealots.
Exactly.
So this is a good timing for ByuN to start pressuring the third. The Photon Overcharge is going to keep him at bay for now, but he will hit very, very soon. The Widowmines are burrowing, and he's going to start to spin in and get some damage done. Here he goes. ByuN going straight for that Overcharge pylon, which should be running out very, very shortly. Charge is seconds away from finishing here. It's about 10 seconds away. Does he have enough? The Widowmine's helping out a fair bit here against those charge lots.
Yeah, I mean, luckily he has a lot of warp-ins still to use, so I think he's got this under control, but those Widowmines got some great shots.
Sure did, but they are going to pay the ultimate price to get taken out. The Revelation getting their detection on those Widowmines, and some, these Liberators coming forward are, I don't know if ByuN can actually keep these alive with the smaller Marine count against this pretty scary Phoenix and Gateway count that Hurricane's got going for himself here.
Yeah.
So ByuN's repositioning his army and pulling back a little bit smartly, I think.
Yeah, I think it's pretty smart. Hurricane takes that opportunity, though, to take a 4th base of the gold now that he has this portion of the map covered. I mean, ByuN's third finishes up, but obviously a lot later. And Hurricane is still producing from that Stargate, which, I mean, ByuN could have reduced this Phoenix count, but this is actually a scary Phoenix count that actually take on Liberators.
Yeah, I don't think ByuN can win this fight, no matter how well he controls it. The Phoenixes are shredding through these Liberators. A couple more coming up to assist, and they are going to be very, very helpful, but is there enough bio? The force fields are actually keeping the bio at bay for the most part, but ByuN may just have enough to push through here, although the Phoenixes... Nah, the lifts.
Okay, well...
They end up helping out a ton here.
I feel like Hurricane should have actually, like, borderline stomped that if his 2 Archons weren't just stuck behind all those Stalkers the entire time. Yeah. There were going to be a lot of splash, there were going to be a lot of soak, and instead it was the sentries dying to the Marauders. That was pretty unfortunate, but it did end up pushing ByuN back now entirely off the middle of the map. His Phoenixes can roam free, and of course he reset the Liberator count, so he doesn't really have to worry about that. And he's on his way up to probably the last game, which is 2 Disruptors and a Colossus.
Yeah. It could be a good move from him, and he gets in here before that turret finishes at the 3rd CC and picks off 7 SCVs. Great move from Hurricane. Those Phoenixes really being an annoying thing for ByuN to deal with.
ByuN, where are your medevacs, man? He was producing liberators that ended up doing nothing. That he really is a very, very tiny medevac count.
He has one. He has one. Wow.
Yeah,
Dang.
That's not really going to heal enough soon. And of course, I mean, a big part about dealing with charge lots, besides just hoping Widowmines get like the shots off, is also kiting. And with the Phoenixes, you know, cutting down the number, and then of course, just cutting them down further. Because like 7 Phoenixes, that actually tears something down quickly. The usual like 5 we see, I don't know, always feels a bit like wet noodle, but. Manages to find Hurricane a little out of position, so now the Widowmines are covering the army, but again, no medevacs. Everything gets pushed into a corner as well, and that just didn't go as ByuN's envisioning.
No, ByuN got caught a little bit by, like, you know, Hurricane was out of position, but ByuN was also in a little bit out of position as well. He got bullied up against the wall, and that's exactly what charge lots want. They want you to be pressed with no escape, nowhere to micro, nowhere to start a step. And ByuN's army gets cleaned up again by Hurricane, who just is, every time he engages with ByuN, he gets further and further ahead. The engagements are going better and better for Hurricane as the game goes forward.
Yeah, I mean, the supply difference is actually a big deal here. ByuN, no 4th CC, no 2nd starport once again, kind of all in, really off of these 3 bases, and he's not able to win with it. Now that Hurricane's on his way to Colossus, better upgrades, it's a very similar situation to the last game, but maybe even a worse of a situation for ByuN. At least ByuN had a decent bio army last time.
Yeah, and the other small difference is there's no disruptors on the field as it stands for Hurricane, but he gets the Colossus a lot quicker and Thermal Lance a little bit quicker as well. So he has that going for him. Meanwhile, ByuN is just going to have to take it easy for a little bit and try and get a big army up and engage well, but that's not a good start, losing his Widowmines immediately. They're so important to deal with the Gateway army, and ByuN's trying to pick a fight here, but I don't know how he's expecting to win against, I mean, this Colossus count and the Phoenix count is just a little bit too much for him.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be game, and Hurricane's 2-0. Unexpected, I'd say. GG.
Yeah. And that was not only a 2-0, like normally 2-0s can be close. That was almost a bopping there from Hurricane. He played incredibly well.
Yeah, it was pretty close. The first game had like a little bit of a, well, what if in the first 5 minutes was the proxy?
Yeah,
but from then on, Hurricane just seemed like he was totally in control. Calm and collected.
Yeah. So Hurricane goes on to the winner's match. ByuN's still alive, guys, for all you ByuN fans out there. He gets another shot in the loser's match.
Yeah, of course.
So he'll be facing the loser of Jon Snow versus Solar, BZVZ coming up next.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, Jon Snow replaced Sue, who unfortunately didn't realize, I guess he was playing in 2 tournaments and chose the other one, so...
Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah, whoopsie whoopsie. We're going to go to a quick break while I fix this match arena link, and then when we get back, I'll talk to you guys about it. Thanks for watching. When we come back, it's Jon Snow versus Solar.